when you talk about rejigging security architecture as it is now in this country, it means different things to so many people. I will want to look at the training and then the best practice when you talk about an issue like this or any issue at all that has become topical. You define it, you conceptualize it before you talk about it. And my own conceptualization and definition of rejigging the architecture is about strategy that we are applying in the field, not anything beyond that. So I will not want to directly toe the line of, the governor, as he has said it. That is by believing, because I read a lot, I read widely, and so many people look at it from different perspectives. But let us look at it from this perspective, which is in my purview and my responsibility. The strategy is what we tinker with every other time. As I speak with you, we hold meetings every other time, particularly on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But at short notice, we call the meetings, the High Command of the Armed Forces, and then we begin to think of what we need to do to make it better. Just like what has happened now, just happened on Saturday, that of course they have been farming there for a long time. If you now look at if you look at the whole scenario as it played out, it's not that farming you just don't just come today, tomorrow, and then you stay there for weeks. Or I know that in that area they even have farm camps. There was a particular time, 2018, that the army even empowered them with tractors and all, by way of civil military cooperation. So rejigging now is for us now to sit down, and which we have started as far back as that when the incident was reported up to yesterday. How do we make it better? So that is what I say that we do, generally. What about the force package? How do we make the force package now? We're looking at the composition of the force. We're looking at the approach, the tactics, right to the tactics, and then the operational moves that we do there. The campaign plan cell, we now sit down at the various theaters, particularly that is the various sectors in that area, and then come up where we see that there are things that we need to do better. We do it, and we do that constantly. If there is need to rotate, if there is need to change, we change, and all those things.
But
so
General,
that is what we do.
Perhaps there is a need.
Looking at rejigging our own.
Just a moment. Perhaps there is a need to, help people understand why this is continuing, because there are some things that are cast in stone, or so to speak. The terrain in the Northeast. A number of people would talk about vast, ungoverned areas in the Northeast and expansive areas of bad roads that so many times we have had, information in the social media and everywhere else that the military loses a lot of hardware trying to get from point to point. A place that ordinarily should take maybe about 5 minutes takes hours to get across. So in that light, those challenges are there. Those terrain challenges are there. And if the strategies that we have not worked, what is going to work? You talked about this, farm camps and all of that, which the survivor also referenced. How helpful has that been? So again, I ask, if there is anything that we need to change, especially in our approach and, as you said, our tactics, given the difficulty of this terrain that's usually vast and, as they say, ungoverned.
Let's look at that, what they refer to as ungoverned and ungoverned over the time. Yes, there is a challenge in that regard, but we are all home and dry with the COVID-19 pandemic that gave all sectors, as far as I am concerned, I stand to be corrected, setbacks in their timelines of achievement. We are all aware that out there that we have to make UAVs and then other devices that could provide surveillance for us beyond the normal human surveillance and the equipment that we have. All those ones, we were packaged to take care of this. Now, for the production of military equipment, it's not something that is like cooking. It's a mechanical device. It's not, thank God that it's not even a chemical device where if you stop, you have to go around all over again. We have them in place, and then production was on. But when COVID-19 came, it affected it, so it gave the setback. Otherwise, this plan of covering ungovernable terrain with UAVs and then what they call kites in the air. All of them were in place, and the technical partners, the original equipment producers, also had to obey COVID-19 rules of maybe sending people away to regroup. And even then, in some parts of the world that we are getting this equipment from, the second wave of COVID-19 came. So I needed to give this up, because it's not like the High Command, the Armed Forces, has not made provision for that. They had the foresight, it was projected that we need to get equipment. And provisions were made. We went to, of course, our DIC does not produce, it's not at that level for now, but they are getting there. So that is what the strategic plan at strategic level of the High Command, even the operational level that we have, that by the time these platforms, force multipliers, come into place, is going to be a game changer. And that is what we are hoping for, that, it will, with the COVID-19 now going down, all over the whole place, and factories, original equipment manufacturers are coming back to work. We believe that maybe the shift in the agreement for all this equipment and platforms will not take too long. So that is that. Then for the tactics, we sit down, like we do now. We have this one, I think I can give it out. We have the mobile strike teams, as it were, then before we now change to Army Super Camps. Then within that one now, we will still need to, what we are doing to ensure that we have the packets that can penetrate, using the terrain, as it were, with the relevant equipment. And that was why you see that the Army particularly came up with the issue of motorcycle battalions and all those things. So all those things are the change of tactics that are being implemented.